Hello, this is Michael Donaldson here with a talk about supporting your immune system. Okay, when you have a strong viral infection, malaria, something like that, hemorrhagic fevers, these are talking about nutrients for fighting chance to help you out here. And there's a longer version of this. This is a short, condensed version, kind of giving the information so you can get it quickly and move on. I don't want to waste your time if you don't want to know more in-depth information, but this is a little bit to help you out here. I will start by talking about the Ebola virus here. It was discovered in 1976, and what really stands out about this infection, about this virus, is that it's very rapid and it's very fatal. Initially, you can't tell what it is until you figure out, oh, he's got Ebola, and he's spitting blood all over, and that's it. It's very fast. All right, very deadly. All right, it infects monkeys, apes, fruit bats, humans, a few other things as well. We have in common that we don't make our own vitamin C. Most animals do, but we don't. This virus thrives in West Africa, places where there's not much selenium. A lot of overlap with countries that also have a lot of HIV. This virus is not transmitted by casual contact. It's transmitted by blood, body fluids, and so it's pretty easy to prevent that as well. It's not like the flu, which goes flying around in the air every time you cough. So we talk about nutrients that you need, right? There is no treatment right now. There's no official treatment, no vaccine. No drug that's going to help you. Your best and only chance is a vigorous immune response. And that's what the CDC basically said here in this quote as well. Well, you really need to know what your immune system requires to take care of an infection, to take over it, and what gets depleted. If you know those things and you supply those things, your chances are much better for survival and really overcoming. So here's the list here. Selenium, glutathione, iodine, vitamin C, and silver. Alright, that's the list, that's the team. The form of delivery is important, how you give it, that makes a difference for each of these things. They're not amazing, but you have to do it the right way. And we're not just relying on one of them, but teamwork here. Alright, teamwork to get the best results. Let's talk about selenium first here. It's the first one on our list. Well, selenium is important for glutathione peroxidase. It's an antioxidant enzyme in your body. It also has anti-clotting activity. When a body is completely depleted of selenium, it will actually cause clots in the blood vessels and lead to hemorrhaging. That's what they've seen in animal studies. So that's a clue of what's going on here as well. Well, Ebola virus and HIV both encode selenoproteins, and they can use quite a bit of selenium. So you may think that if you take selenium, you're feeding your virus. It's actually the opposite. You're actually feeding your own immune system more than the virus. The virus actually is looking at your selenium status to judge your immune system. So if your status is high, then it kind of doesn't replicate much. If your selenium status is low, it really kicks into high gear, and it's a good time for it to escape. If a host doesn't have much selenium, it leads to more virulent strains of viruses. At least it does in animal studies. Okay, so that might be happening in West Africa too, where people have low amounts of selenium in their bodies. There's some research on selenium and HIV which may be relevant to us. There's some similarities there, so we're going to look at these things a little bit here. About 3 studies on selenium and HIV. In this first study here, they just tracked people, men and women, over 3.5 years, just tracking. They found that CD4 counts and selenium deficiency were independent predictors of survival for people with HIV. When they gave people with HIV selenium 200 micrograms a day, it didn't decrease their viral load, but it did increase their CD4 counts, which would indicate benefit from that. In Africa and Botswana, they had to give them selenium and multivitamins to get a good effect. They had about a 50% decrease in risk of secondary events, right? And about a 50% decreased chance of having a low CD4 cell count as well. So it does work, and it has direct effects. It's not something else. It's the selenium itself that's helpful. Well, it's been tested in hemorrhagic fever, this selenium has. It was done in China, and the report is written in 1993. So here's how they did it. Dramatic decreases in mortality. That's amazing. People had used this. It might have even worked better if not taken orally, but injection for the really bad fulminant cases. Here's a citation if you're going to dig out more on that study as well. Moving on now to glutathione. Glutathione is a very interesting molecule. It's very important, just a tripeptide. What's involved as an antioxidant? It's involved in detoxifying things in the liver and also for reducing inflammation. Well, in infections, it's very important too, because infections cause oxidative damage in the cells. But as it gives up an electron, it combines with another molecule of glutathione and doesn't become a free radical itself. So it's a very unique antioxidant in that respect. Well, to get more glutathione, you can't just take glutathione. The best way is to actually supplement with N-acetylcysteine. That works really well. Other antioxidants that you take will also boost glutathione levels. Whether it's vitamin C, alpha-lipoic acid works very well as well. If you increase your amount of selenium in your body, it also increases the amount of glutathione that you have. As we said, infections cause oxidative damage in cells. So if you give more of what you need, your outcomes are going to be better. Moving on now. Talking about iodine here. Iodine, chlorine, and bromine, fluorine, they're all in the same periodic family. Chlorine bleach works great on surfaces, but you can't drink it. Iodine you can think of as biological bleach. You can drink it, and it has the same sort of germicidal properties that you find in chlorine bleach. Been used for a long time. You can even use it as an aerosol to protect to kind of clean up the air, so there's not as many dangerous viruses floating around in the air. That may not be as important for Ebola virus, but I wouldn't take too many chances really. There's a book written by David Derry on breast cancer and iodine, and here he talks about the effects of iodine against influenza viruses. You may want to read more about that. The full text of this article is available. Alright, here's another citation showing that iodine really does work. 10 seconds of the povidone iodine and wipes out viruses just like that. So it does have the same sort of germicidal effect that you expect with bleach. There's several different ways to take iodine. We found NASCENT iodine to be better than Lugol's or iosol and so on for really supplying the body with a potent form of iodine. It's a special form of electrically charged iodine. It's really made by electromagnetic field of a tincture. You set that tincture in the field and you wait. And it pulls apart the I2 into forming singlet iodine molecules. They're very bioavailable, and your body does a lot of good things with them. Alright, it's not active for a really long time, about 2 or 3 hours for greatest activity. Well, this NASCENT iodine, the one we're telling you about, has been used to take care of iodine and malaria. So it's a great thing here, right? You feed people 10 drops of iodine every 4 hours, and you get remarkable healing rates as you supply your immune system with what it needs here. Now vitamin C, iodine has great effects, selenium has great effects, boosting glutathione has great effects. If you inject vitamin C, you can cure viral infections. Dr. Frederick Klenner did this in the 1940s, and people have followed up with him, and it still works. Still works the same way as when he did it. Now, Ebola virus actually causes what we look at and call acute scurvy. Uses up all the vitamin C in your body. So you need to supply what's lacking, right? What your body is using up. So you give it a lot of vitamin C, and it does much better. You can prevent that hemorrhaging, that massive bleeding, vitamin C. You just have to get the right amount and in the right form, a lot of it. The best form appears for an acute infection to be liposomal vitamin C. Now you might ask, what's a liposome? Well, you take something like lecithin with phospholipids in it, throw it into water, and it spontaneously forms these little balls of phosphate here called liposomes. And you can make them smaller and so on. Well, some of the stuff that was in the liquid gets encapsulated inside them. And you can do that with various nutrients, vitamin C being one of the first ones it was done with. So delivery to cells is much, much higher than other methods. Okay, not just into the bloodstream, but right into the cells as well. There's a story of Alan Smith from New Zealand story. Check it out. It's very well documented. He was cured with vitamin C, both IV and then liposomal vitamin C. Liposomal vitamin C is very effective. 5 to 6 grams was found by Dr. Thomas Levy to be as a good dengue fever, hemorrhagic dengue fever, cured with 10 grams of liposomal vitamin C in 24 hours. He supplied the body what it needed, and the body used it very effectively. Alright, colloidal silver can be used as well. It's a natural immune booster. Microbes don't develop resistance to the silver. There's lots of ways to make it. You can use a home generator as well. Every company says it has the best. Silverbotics has data to prove their claims. A couple of patents. Here's the most recent patents. There's more from before that as well. And not only, but claims. You want to read those to get more details. Now, as far as principles of the protocol here, you want to take the sodium supplement with food. You want to take liposomal vitamin C and silverbotics away from food. You can take them together, but don't take them with food for greatest effectivity. And the NASCENT iodine, to be most effective, is best taken away from food as well, but don't take it with the vitamin C. So here's how to put it together. In the morning, start with iodine. Take 10 drops of the NASCENT iodine and a bit of water, a bit of pure water. Wait 15 to 30 minutes, then take a gram or two of liposomal vitamin C, along with the silver biotics, about a teaspoon of that. And then wait at least 30 minutes before taking any solid food. And then you repeat that every 4 hours. Alright, so you can get in about 6 doses a day. And then for selenium, you take that with food throughout the day here. Don't take it all at once in the selenium and glutathione booster. You want to spread that out throughout the day. Alright, you can take 1,000 micrograms for a few weeks without much trouble at all. And of course, the amino acid chelate is a much safer and more bioavailable form than sodium selenite. You want to continue on at the high dose even after the fever is broken, just to make sure your body is well cleared of the virus and you're really giving your immune system very good support. Then you go down to a maintenance dose. Well, who should use this protocol? Really, anyone who's facing a stronger infection than they're up to. Give your immune system more artillery to work with. And we're just supplying your immune system here. We're not really curing anything in and of itself. These are nutrients to support the immune system, not magic bullets to knock things out. You have a strong infection, you need a strong defense. People underestimate how much the immune system is depleted. So if you supply what's depleted, it works much better. Right? That's just common sense. Here's a summary of the protocol all in one page here. You can look at it. Different amounts recommended for different stages of infection or someone helping someone that has an infection. Of course, you need to eat food. I recommend the Hallelujah diet to you in such a situation as well. If you want more information, please contact us at myhdiet.com. Best way to get a hold of us, and we have phone support as well for how to implement the Hallelujah diet and get you pointed in the right direction. Thank you very much. This is Michael Donaldson. It's been a pleasure to help you out. Bye now.